In the World Cup final, Emiliano Martinez made 11 saves. No goalkeeper has ever made more in a final. His team did not have a single shot until the 117th minute, and they lost. Spain, 1-0 after extra time. Ferran Torres, from the bench. Defending well and defending successfully turned out to be two very different things. This is why. Like, subscribe, and then we start. FIFA put a technical study group on this tournament. Analysts, tracking data, all 104 matches. One number came back louder than everything else. Winning teams won the ball back about 4 seconds faster than losing teams. Not more tackles, not more running, 4 seconds. Because 4 seconds is not a defensive statistic. It is how long you are willing to let the game be a contest. Everything else in this video is a team answering that. Here is how far it has gone. In the group stage of this World Cup, only 52% of goal kicks were taken by the goalkeeper. 4 years ago, it was 91%. Teams started giving the goal kick to a centre-back instead. The keeper stands off, watches how the press comes, sees which side they have overloaded, and only then joins in. He stopped being the start of the move. He became the spare man. A routine that was basically universal was quietly abandoned in one cycle. 308 goals in 104 matches. Just under 3 a game and up on both of the last 2 tournaments. 48 teams came to this tournament. Almost every one can be placed by a single question. How do you spend the time you don't have the ball? There were 4 answers. Win it back at once. Keep it and build from deep. Sit in a mid-block and spring. Or defend deep with everyone. Across all 48 teams, FIFA sorted every attack into 2 kinds. Counter-attacks launched out of a set defensive block, and attacks launched by simply winning the ball straight back. These are not our labels, they are FIFA's. Spain set the benchmark for winning it back immediately. After the first round, England had spent more time building from deep than anyone. Mbappe, Vinicius, Norway building around Haaland's pace, counter-attacking from a block. Brazil and Morocco were named for that block. Japan and Australia for the deepest one. Uruguay took it furthest of anyone. 59% of their attacks came straight from the counter-press, against a tournament average of 41.5%. And the teams who spent the most of their defending doing that were not the European giants. They were the hosts, the United States first, Canada second. And the map is not a filing cabinet. Cabo Verde sit in 2 columns at once, named among the hardest pressers at the tournament and, as you will see, able to defend as deep as anyone. 4 answers, and the 4 semi-finalists were one of each. Spain won it back. England kept it. France sat and sprang. Argentina defended deep. Spain's answer was the simplest to say and the hardest to do. Take it back immediately. FIFA named them the benchmark for counter-pressing. Attacks that begin the instant possession is lost. Lose the ball, 3 players collapse on it inside a couple of seconds, and from Spain's point of view, the attack never actually stopped. And when they had it, they kept going for the same door. The inside channel, that gap between a centre-back and the full-back outside him. Stretch the defence wide, wait for the gap to open, then break the line straight through it. Spain broke through centrally more often than almost anyone at the tournament. It was not possession for its own sake. Every pass was buying that one gap. But this model has a limit, and Spain ran into it in their very first game. Cabo Verde, playing the first World Cup match in their history, held them to 0-0. Spain had 28 attempts on goal. FIFA's own analysts summed the match up in one line. Spain had 28 attempts. Cabo Verde had Vozinha. Their 40-year-old goalkeeper and player of the match, not just for what he saved, Under a Spanish high press, he kept finding passes that broke it, through it and over it. In the tournament that asked keepers to play, the clearest case of one deciding a game came from the smallest country in it. He had 46,000 followers that morning. A Brazilian broadcaster told its viewers to go and find him. Within a day, he had 14 million, and by the end of the tournament, 22. 4 seconds. Spain barely gave you one. England's answer was structure. After the first round, they led the whole tournament for time spent building from deep. Nearly 35% of everything they did with the ball happened in their own half, on purpose, and their centre-forward was not where you would go looking for him. A quarter of Harry Kane's touches came in England's own defensive third. That is not a striker dropping deep because nothing is happening. It is a trap. If a centre-back followed him out, Bellingham attacked the space he had just left. If nobody followed, Kane had the ball, facing forward, with time. Defenders had to pick one. Mostly they did neither. Around it, Rice and Anderson pulled the opposition midfield away from the centre, and the wingers stayed pinned to the touchline so the fullbacks could not tuck in and help. 4 seconds. England spent theirs at the other end of the pitch. France's answer was the most distinctive of the four, and it had a name. FIFA called it an umbrella. As France pushed forward, the players behind the ball did not hold a flat line across the pitch. They curved, and the curve tightened around the opponent the deeper France went. Saliba and Upamecano took turns inside it. One would step right up into the final third to contest the loose ball. The other held the space in behind him. It only works because both of them are quick enough to cover an entire flank on their own. Most teams need 4 defenders to do what France did with 2. If this is the sort of thing you came for, subscribe. And they had the mirror image of it going the other way. A rest attack, forwards already standing in the space that would hurt you while the opposition still had the ball, whether or not it was ever coming to them. So the moment France won it back, the pass was already on. Mbappe's goal against Morocco came after 2 earlier chances the rest defence had created on its own. 4 seconds. France did not chase the ball back. They arranged the pitch so it came to them. Argentina's answer was to stop pretending. 9 outfield players defended. 1 did not. Messi was excused, held up the pitch, kept fresh, waiting to be the outball the second anyone won it. And it worked because he was not part of the attack. He was the attack. 8 of Argentina's 18 goals. A hand in 15 of them. And of the 113 chances the entire team created, Messi was involved in 99. Everything around him was built to get him the ball. Midfielders dropping and pulling wide to drag defenders out of the middle. 3 against 1 out on the flank, then a switch. And watch what he does going into the box. He waits. He lets the recovering defenders run past him and arrives a beat late into the yard they have just given up. 4 seconds. Argentina handed them over, deliberately, every single time. That was the plan, and it took them to a final. Tell me in the comments whether that one surprised you as much as it surprised me. The other thing that changed is the bench. Substitutes scored 43 goals in the group stage alone. Squads stopped being 11 players and a backup. To be fair, some of that is the rule. This tournament allowed 5 substitutions. In 2018, teams got 3. And for all the worry about 48 teams, the study group's read was that there were no easy games. Germany beat Curaçao 7-1. It was 1-1 for a long time. One last thing, and the shapes do not tell you this one. Of those 308 goals, 54 came from a set piece. 17.5%. 1 in 6. And that includes 16 penalties. Take those out, and you still have 38 goals from corners, free kicks, and long throws. Crosses accounted for 24% of every goal scored at this World Cup. Almost 1 in 4. Portugal against Croatia is the whole argument in one match. 9 corners, 6 delivered straight into the box, and all 6 in-swinging, with blockers screening the zonal markers so runners could arrive late at the far post. In open play, they tried 15 crosses. 13 of them failed. The 14th was Leao's, in-swinging, in stoppage time, and Gonçalo Ramos scored the winner with it. Which is what crossing actually is. It fails and fails and fails, and then it wins you the game. So here is where it lands. Spain conceded 1 goal in the entire tournament. Going into the final, they had allowed 11 shots on target, fewer than any other team there. Which is how you end up with a World Cup final that has 11 saves at one end and nothing at all at the other until the 117th minute. Argentina defended for their lives, and they defended brilliantly. Spain simply made sure they had to do it for 120 minutes without a rest. And the goal that won it came off the bench. Ferran Torres, 106 minutes, against 10 men. The tournament's clearest trend, finishing the tournament's last act. And look at who the tournament decorated. The best player was Rodri, a holding midfielder. The best young player, Pau Kubasi, a 19-year-old centre-back. And the best goalkeeper, Unai Simon, who conceded once in 8 games. 4 teams, 4 answers. Which one would you have picked? Tell me below, and subscribe. There is a new one every week.